Need to say anything. You know, the people who understand the greatness of it and, you know, have their own life, that what happened happened.
Jake Paul just dropped a bombshell about his Netflix fight with Mike Tyson. And this isn't your typical post-fight drama. Sure, the bout happened over a month ago, and most people have moved on. But Jake hasn't. Why? Because his sponsors are vanishing, fans are giving him the cold shoulder, and his reputation is on thin ice. So, what does Jake do? He jumps on Logan Paul's podcast, slaps a dramatic *coming clean* title on it, and spills some jaw-dropping tea. According to Jake, Tyson orchestrated the entire shady setup behind the scenes. Jake claimed, "I knew I had to be cautious in the early rounds because," implying there was more at play than just boxing skill. But hold on, Mike Tyson is sitting on a $400 million fortune, compared to Jake's pre-fight $30 million net worth. Why would Tyson even bother scheming against a YouTuber turned boxer? For fame? Please. This is Iron Mike *. He doesn't need clout from fighting Jake Paul.
I do have to be careful in the early rounds.
I'll tell you, but fair warning, if you buy into Jake's version, you might just end up seeing Tyson in a whole new light.
Man, when you were in there.
I don't remember it.
You didn't even remember.
It turns out, Jake Paul knew exactly what he was getting into when he signed up to fight Mike Tyson. On Logan's podcast, Jake came clean, admitting that he wasn't fooling himself. He knew the public would hate him for taking the fight, no matter what happened in the ring. And honestly, he leaned into it like a pro. For Jake, this fight wasn't about who'd win or lose. It was about the spectacle of a YouTuber going toe-to-toe with a boxing legend.
Like, oh, it's rigged because look at him on the pads, but he didn't do this in the fight. Because someone is fucking punching back, you dumb fucks. Like,
Jake practically auditioned for the role of the villain, nailed it, and then milked it for every drop. Hate. That's just fuel for clicks, and clicks mean cash. If controversy were a sport, the Paul brothers would be taking home Olympic gold. Then Logan hit him with the big question. The one we were all thinking but too afraid to say. Was the fight rigged? Jake didn't deny it outright. Instead, he flashed a smirk and dropped this bomb. Rigged fights are for people who need money. I don't need it. Maybe Mike did. One cryptic comment, and the internet erupted. Jake didn't just strike a spark. He drenched the whole thing in gasoline.
my power.
That is true.
And my jab and my speed and my ability and my footwork to get out of the way of those punches. So then all of a sudden he's throwing at literally air.
Jake didn't outright accuse Tyson of orchestrating a rigged fight. But let's be real. The implication was as obvious as a punch to the face. He pointed the finger just enough to make you second-guess Tyson. And let's not forget, Tyson's financial struggles have never exactly been a secret.
Houses or drugs, girls?
Planes, boat. It's stupid shit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
fun.
Right. You don't regret any? Do you regret anything?
Yeah, and I didn't pay taxes really at that time.
The man's a legend, no doubt. But his career has had more twists and turns than a roller coaster. And his business ventures aren't exactly raking in millions right now. A comeback fight like this wasn't just about getting back in the ring. It was about staying in the spotlight, making some money, and reminding everyone that he's still Iron Mike *.
Where'd most of it go? Because I'm from Connecticut. I know where your house, your old house, 50 Cent's house now, right? Does he still own it?
I have no idea.
But that house, what had movie theaters? What else in it?
Everything.
Jake twisted the knife even deeper, implying that this wasn't just a mutual payday. He suggested, without saying it outright, that Tyson might have had to take a dive as part of the deal. Let that sink in. If there's any truth to that, it means Tyson risked his legacy for a bigger paycheck, had a chance to stay in the spotlight, while Jake walks away as the guy who beat a boxing icon. Meanwhile, the internet is left arguing over whether the fight was even real.
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever. But
What are you gonna buy with the money?
probably a ranch.
The kicker. Jake's comment wasn't random. It was a calculated move, plain and simple. By dropping that line about maybe Mike needed it, He shifted the focus squarely onto Tyson, diverting attention from himself. It's classic Jake. He stirred up chaos, let the internet do the rest, and sat back as the views piled up. People can't resist a good conspiracy theory, and Jake handed them one on a silver platter.
Was missing.
I can't believe he can move like that.
So why make a statement like that? If Jake had nothing to hide, maybe it was a preemptive move, ensuring he stayed ahead of the narrative and kept the focus off him. Or maybe, and this is classic Jake, he was throwing Tyson under the bus, fully aware that the drama would keep people talking for weeks. Whatever his motive, one thing's clear. Jake never makes a move without knowing exactly how it's going to play out.
The way the night went down.
I wish he would have, like put up a better fight so then I could have like risen more and done more.
The hype was through the roof. Tyson's a living legend, and Jake Paul knows how to spark a crowd. But let's not kid ourselves. This wasn't just about the love of boxing. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. This fight was more about business, branding, and bank accounts than actual competition. And when you put it all together, it's hard not to see the strategy behind the chaos.
Surviving,
He
you know,
was.
so
So annoying.
that was the only thing I didn't like.
So annoying when they don't bring the fight.
Let's start with Tyson's finances. The man raked in over $400 million at his peak, only to file for bankruptcy in 2003. Since then, he's tried everything from stand-up tours to selling weed gummies shaped like ears. But despite his hustle, his recent ventures haven't exactly struck it rich. Enter Jake Paul, Netflix, and a $20 million payday for a retired athlete navigating financial struggles. That kind of cash isn't just tempting, it's life-changing. Tyson wasn't just getting back in the ring for the sport, he was stepping into a marketing goldmine.
I think Jake's in a lot of trouble.
But here's where it gets even juicier. This fight wasn't just about Tyson making a quick buck. It was about putting himself back in the spotlight. Think about it, his name alone commanded global attention, and the fight wasn't just a match, it was a stage.
Down here to see you. You lit up Tyson 2.0. Last time we saw you in Vegas, you handed me a bag of your Mike Bites, the edibles. Fantastic. I love them.
Tyson used the fight to promote his cannabis brand, Tyson 2.0, and teased an upcoming Netflix documentary series. It wasn't just a fight, it was a full-blown infomercial disguised as a boxing match. If that doesn't scream calculated move, I don't know what does.
No expectations. We have expectations. Yo, if I don't get 100 million views, fuck out of here, my data! Right. No, these guys just want a piece of banana.
They want to eat, live.
They're so hungry. They're starving.
Let's talk about the whispers. The ones suggesting this fight might not have been entirely on the up and up. Jake Paul walked away with a unanimous decision win, and while there wasn't a knockout, there were plenty of moments that made fans go, wait, what? Some believe Tyson might have agreed to lose for the payday and the exposure. After all, his legacy is untouchable at this point. Losing to Jake Paul won't erase decades of dominance, but it sure raises a lot of questions.